Welcome back, my families. I'm making another different version of carrot cake. So what I do is I made it into 4 groups so easier for you to learn. So I'm going to show you how I group them. Here I have 230 grams of finely grated carrot. So that will be a group A by itself. For the group B, I have 300 grams of plain flour. I'm going to mix it now itself so it's easier. 30 grams of corn flour. That's a group B. Half a teaspoon of nutmeg powder. One and a half teaspoon of ginger powder. 2.5 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. Some people use clove powder as well, but I'm not. Or you can even substitute with allspice powder, but today this is the recipe. Half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of baking powder. Half a teaspoon of baking soda. 2 teaspoon of baking powder. So I'll group it into group B. Group C will be finely chopped 60 grams of pecan or pecan, however you pronounce it. Coarsely chopped. Don't make it like powder form, so it's coarsely chopped. If you want it bigger piece, you can do so. And 60 grams of walnut, also chop it. Okay, set that aside. Group D. Okay, that's group D. So I've got here plain yogurt, 120 grams. 2 teaspoons of vanilla paste. 200 grams of cooking oil. I'm using rice bran. 5 medium egg, room temperature. 150 gram dark brown sugar. 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. So that's group D. I'm going to work on the dry ingredients. That's group B. So I'm going to sift all of them. That's corn flour. Nutmeg powder. Ginger powder. Cinnamon powder. Salt. Baking powder and baking soda. Just mix it all. And sift. I'm just going to sift in here. Mix it well till everything is combined and set it aside. Mix both nuts together and mix it well. Set that aside. Now we'll work on the group D. So toss in the yogurt. Vanilla extract or vanilla paste. I'm using vanilla paste. Zest, lemon zest. Sugar. Oil. Crack all the 5 eggs. Also preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius for a normal oven. If you got a fan force, 150 degrees Celsius. Check your settings again. And this whole process should take about 28 minutes to 30 minutes of baking time. So let's beat this till it's all combined. So now let's combine the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. That's B and D. Okay, so I'm just going to pour it gradually and give it a good mix. I'm going to add the A and C, which is the carrot and the nuts. And add all the carrots. And give it a good mix. If you want 3 layers, you can use 8 by 3 inches round trays. And I'm just going to use a flat tray. I'll put the measurement, whatever tins that I'm using, in the description box. Give it a good mix like that. Don't take too long mixing it. And I'm also going to make a frost for it. Okay, that will do. And let's pour it into the baking tray. Just even it up. Just tap it a little bit, jiggle a little bit, just to make sure there's no air trapped in between. And I'm going to transfer it into the oven. Cake is done. As you can see, some part of it's cracked, but don't worry about it because it's very soft. And one side you see a bit higher than the other side, so you just slice it off and even it up and just cut the sides off as well. I'm resting it on a wire rack at the moment to cool it down, so later you just flip it over. So I'm just going to cut it off on the top. Just slice it where it's a bit too high. Like that, it's nice and moist, the cake itself. But if you don't want to, if it's just for the house, don't worry, which means you have to balance the frosting so it becomes evenly same height. And I'm making a butter and cheese frosting here. It's still very hot, so I'm just going to slice it while it's hot so it's softer on the top. Okay. I'm just going to try the offcuts. It is so good and it's not very sweet. I'll show you many different type of carrot cakes, see which one you like. I hope you like this recipe. Please hit share, subscribe and like. Thank you for watching, and I'm so proud of the channel at the moment. We've got 321 subscribers. Thank you to each and every one of you. I just flip the cake and I'm gonna peel it off the baking paper. That looks good, right? And I'm going to leave it to cool down to room temperature. So in the meantime, I'm going to make the frosting for it. And this is the offcuts. We're just going to cut it into smaller pieces and have it as it is. The main three ingredients are butter, cheese cream and powdered sugar. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder as well. So I've got 200 grams of butter, unsalted butter. Leave it to room temperature so it's not so hard when you want to beat it. And I've got here 200 grams of cream cheese, and I've got here 200 grams of powdered sugar, but I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to taste it as I go because I don't like it too sweet. The cake is already sweet, we don't need too sweet, because when it's too sweet, all you're going to taste is just the sugar. And to garnish it, I'm going to put it on top of the cream. I grounded some walnuts, and I'm going to use some rose petals as well. Let's toss it to that. It's creamy and fluffy. Now I can add the cream cheese in it. While it's half done, I'm going to add the cinnamon powder to it. If you don't like cinnamon powder, you don't have to add it. This is an optional. I'm going to add just half the sugar first because I'm going to taste it. I don't like it very sweet, as I said. If you like it, you can add all the sugar, but I think we don't need too much sugar. I'm just going to add half and then taste it. And then beat it to combine it. So I only added half sugar. Probably it's about 120 grams, that's it. taste it before you add the whole sugar. Doesn't matter what recipe you follow, just to make sure the sugar is right for you. I think that's good enough. Just gonna scrape all the sides. Cake is nice and cold. So I'm just going to just drop it and then even it up later. You can use turntable, it's much easier so you can move it around. I didn't use it today. So take your time to spread it evenly. So I've already spread evenly. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you're wondering, it has to be perfect. And just sprinkle some walnut. Maybe like half a cup. I blend it finely. And you just spread like that. Be generous. Now let's sprinkle some. I've got fresh rose petals. You can use dry rose, but I like fresh. And that's it. I hope you like it. Let's dig in, yeah? Let's cut a piece. I'm going to cut it from here so it's easier. Let's try a piece. That's how it looks. It looks so delicious. I already tried the cake. You know, the offcuts. That's how I'm serving. It looks pretty. So let us try. It's perfect. Not too sweet. You get to taste the cheese, the cream cheese, the nuts, different flavors in the cake, and that's how it should be. You shouldn't overpower with sugar. That's what I always say. Either your sugar controls you or you control the sugar. It's better you control the sugar so you get to enjoy the cake. It's so good. Thank you for watching.